Hello again. Okay, now you're about from our next presenter, Dr. Dust from the United States. Dear, have you joined us? Dr. Dust? Okay, it seems that Dr. Dust has not joined us yet. So I would like to ask one of our oral presenters that was unable to attend the oral session. Instead, dear Duan, could you please unmute your microphone and share your screen with us?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, yes, it's me. I'm going to share my screen now. Give me a second.
Yes, could you please share it?
Just give me a second.
Take your time, dear.
Okay. Just give me my screen now.
Yes, everything is perfect. You can start.
Right. Okay, thank you. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Dang Kwang, and I'm currently the Master in Finance student in Oxford Brookes University. And today, I'm to present you my research on the firm's readiness for green bond market in an emerging economy. This is actually the beginning of my major research. So the database will be very small, and then this presentation is I will present you some minor research, some small research, prior research to my study. Okay, so first of all, regarding the background of study, so as you can see, green finance or green bond, to be more specific, has been considered as a effective way of commitment to a green economy. So it has no longer been a far-fetched concept to global economies, with countries have signed the Paris Agreement, which is a legally binding international treaty to tackle global environmental and climate issues. And as you can see over here, is that the amount of the amount of green bond issued by country, you can see, has been on a upward trend over the last 10 years, nearly 10 years. And it has been covered mostly by developed countries or very large emerging countries, like developing countries like China, for example. So, but on the other hand, there had been only minor signs of participation of smaller size developing economies. And yet in the near future, these economies would have to face the consequences of of climate and environmental externalities associated with economic growth. While there have been attempts to incorporate green finance into their financial markets, therefore further research into this area has proven itself to be very necessary. So for my study, I conduct a study on Vietnam, which is my home country, because for reasons as follow. So Vietnam's economy has been enjoying a fast economic growth over the last 2 decades, that it has been able to make its mark on the global map with the acceleration economic growth among other developing countries in Asia, scoring a phenomenal average growth rate of 6.9% GDP growth during the last 2 decades, and also show its resilience throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. So behind such secret to such strong growth is the focus on shifting away from agricultural reliant economy to upgrading itself into a industrial country. Therefore, the demand for energy undeniably skyrocketed, as the energy consumption would suggest economic growth and industrial-oriented economy like so given the country's growing reliance on fossil fuel, as you can see on the graph over here, that coal and oil remain the two most crucial energy sources of the country. So that this is a critical problem for Vietnam, as it is there are two main sources of greenhouse gas emissions. Therefore, green finance would be a necessary sources for green projects and green business in Vietnam to have a steady source of financing for development. So therefore, my study is going to investigate how firms in the developing countries using the case study in Vietnam how they decide to issue green bond as a source of financing for the green projects, and therefore this can boil down to two major research questions. The first one is to examine the financing behavior of firms in Vietnam. The second one is identifying what motivates or disincentivize them to issue green bond. So this is my research framework in which I will collect data and analyze 5 main factors that will determine whether if the firms is ready to issue green bond or not. So as you can see, there are 5 factors. The first one is the perceptions of barriers, which is how firms perceive the existing financial market, the green financial market, that could impact their decision of financing via green finance or green bond. The second one is the advantage of a traditional bond would represent the perception of the firms when they compare the benefits, the costs and benefits between green bond and traditional bonds. The third one, perception of market demand, which is self-explanatory, the perception of the demand for the demand of investors of potential investors for green bond. The third one, of course, is a cost of issuing using and issuing green bond. Then, and finally, the access to consultancy, which I make it short, which stands for the availability of like a government or a government support for consulting the issuance of green bond. So therefore there are 4 main hypotheses that I use which to test the readiness of green bond issuance first the availability of green consultancy service. The second one is the cost of green bond issuance. The third one is the perception of investor preferences, and the final one is, of course, the green bond market demand. So the method I employed, I will employ to carry out this research is through a 30 pre-structured question survey that will focus on capital structure behavior and the perceptions on green finance, which I carry out by online survey or direct interview. And the questions type would mostly include single choice questions and Likert scale for rating questions, which range from 1 to 5. And with the design of survey factor analysis, I will use factor analysis, and I forgot to include into the slide the cross tabulation for analysis. So after the survey, this is the respondents, the characteristic of the sample that I collected, which include the majority, most of them are private companies that belongs to the industrial or production companies, and some of them are also belong to the energy sector, as can be shown in these 2 diagrams. Okay, so these are the 5 main questions that I bring into for hypothesis testing. So the first one The first one would be the dependent variable that represent the decision to or not to issue green bond is a near future by us responded by the companies. The second one is the availability of consultants of green finance consultancy services available in the market. The third one, the cost for using green bond. The third independent variable is the perception on investor preferences of green bond compared to traditional bond, which is the comparison as I mentioned before. And the last one is how the firms perceive the demand for green bond from the investors. Okay, so this is a test result that this is a preliminary test result of my cross tabulation test, and as you can see over here, only using the Fisher-Exot test, we can see that there is only a statistically significant relationship between the decision of whether to issue or not to issue green bond and the availability of consulting service and the perception of the market demand. To be more specific, as you can see over here, first the cross tabulation table between the decision to issue green bond and the availability of green bond consultancy service. As you can see over here, the large proportion of responses shows that firms would not be likely to issue green bond in the near future because they rely too much on themselves to carry out the like for example the paperwork or whether the categories or to know the functions or to know the processes of issuing green bond, which is of course more complicated than traditional bond. Therefore, they don't have much knowledge or expertise in the issuance of using and issuing green finance instruments like green bond. So therefore, because of such lack of knowledge and expertise, these firms would be less willing to issue green bond as the process would take longer and more expensive compared to traditional bond issuance. The same problem also happens with the market demand, with a relationship between the green bond issuance and the market demand, as most of the firms who are not willing to issue green bond in the future. I'm really sorry because I used the wrong table over here, but the results shows that firms who perceive the market demand for green bond is low will not issue green bond in the future. I'm really apologize. I'm really sorry for using the wrong table over here, but my data shows that firms in the sample are not willing to issue green bond in the near future. Most of them also view the market demand as lower compared to traditional finance. Therefore, they are less willing to issue green bond. So this jumped to the conclusion of my initial research of this topic is that firms are less willing to issue green bond, which is attributed to the lack of knowledge and expertise in green finance overall, and this could be attributed to the lack of clear guidelines and standardizations of the bond of traditional bond and green bond market, which is that exists in Vietnamese financial market. And also firms were so more concerned about the financial market demand for investment opportunities, as most of them also view the market demand for green bond to be lower than the demand for traditional bond, and therefore they are unwilling to issue green bond in the near future. So to wrap things up, these are due to less uniformity in the knowledge of of the requirements and eligibility for green finance, as firms' knowledge is still limited in the aspect of using green finance, and therefore Vietnamese is highly recommended that the Vietnamese government should take more steps in improving the regulations regarding the bond, the traditional bond and green bond policies. So yeah, so that is the end of my presentation. So I hope you get what I was presenting, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, dear. Thank you for your excellent presentation. Any question or comments? If you have any question or comments, please feel free. Okay, thank you once again.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, dear. Okay, now let's hear from our next presenter, dear Dr. Yufan from China. Hello,
Okay,
dear.
thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Could you please share your screen with us?
Okay, wait me a moment.
Take your time.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, thank you. I will start my presentation. Hello everyone, my name is Yifan Zhang. I came from China. My university is Beijing Jiao Tong University. The topic of my report today is managing travel mode choice in mobility and a service platform. My report consists of 5 parts. Part 1 is background. MaaS has been introduced in EU ITS conference in 2014, and now MaaS has been applying in many major cities worldwide. Typical practice, for example, WIM in Helsinki, Yubigo in Golden Bridge, Depasta in Singapore, and Beijing Green Mobility Integration Service Platform. For example, Beijing MaaS aims to reduce carbon emissions, and in Beijing MaaS platform, it adds combination travel modes in travel mode recommendation. In a word, MaaS is changing how travel is derived and the options available. There are many studies have been focused on MaaS from various aspects. For example, qualitative analysis, demand service analysis, policy investigation, system framework design, case studies and simulation predictions, platform development, and development path exploration, and so on. There are 2 main research methods. One is questionnaires and statistical analysis. Another is modeling approach. It was used in this paper. Next part is problem description. Here I will describe the MaaS travel scenario. It was based on the rapid development of MaaS and also inspired by the intelligent travel function in domestic navigation apps. In the MaaS scenario, it adds combination travel modes in travel mode recommendation. It was different from the traditional travel scenario. Because in the traditional travel scenario, there are only single travel mode. It doesn't include combination travel mode. Another difference is each mode corresponds to one routine in the MaaS scenario. In traditional scenario, users should first choose travel routine, second choose travel mode, and here users can only choose travel mode because each mode corresponds to one travel routine. Based on the mass travel scenario, there are two main problems we should to solve. First is what's the mass travel scenario? Here we describe the mass travel scenario with the addition of combined travel modes. Another is what are the characteristics of users' behavior in mass? Here we first construct user utility functions based on the utility serial, and then observe users' mode choice through modeling and simulation. The third part is model formulations. First, I will introduce the multimode travel network in the mass scenario. There are 4 travel modes in the travel network in the mass scenario. 3 single travel mode include public transport, car, ride-hailing, and 1 combination travel mode. It is ride-hailing as passport and transport. So the mode sets there is public transport, ride-hailing, car, and ride-hailing as public transport. We assume that bus is on-demand, responsive, and flexible bus service. Regards for users, there are 2 groups users. Users without cars and users with cars. Different group users have different value of time. The users without cars, the value of time for users without cars is gamma 1. The value of time for users with a car is gamma 2. The travel utility of the users choosing the mode I is as the follow formula. It includes 3 factors: travel time, travel comfortable, and travel charge. We also proposed an optimal model to solve our problem. It includes both carbon emissions and users' utility. We use the minimize carbon emissions as the upper level objective function. In the lower level, the users choose travel modes conforms to the principle of stochastic user equilibrium. Next part is simulation analysis. The parameter settings in the mass are all obtained from real data on Baidu Maps. We solve the problem through the follow algorithm. The upper level aims to minimize the carbon emissions, which used simulated annealing algorithm to obtain the optimal ratio. And the lower level is to maximize users' utility, which used method of successive averages to obtain the number of users' choice for different travel modes to maximum users' utility. Next is results and analysis. First, I will show the mode share ratio. The picture on the right shows the changes in the total user mode sharing ratio under different users' numbers. The 2 pictures on the right show the changes in the mode sharing rate of car-free users and car-only users with the number of users. From the picture, we can conclude that first, when the number of users changes, the mode sharing ratio of the 2 users in the equilibrium state is different from the mode sharing ratio of the total users. Another is changes in the number of users have a great impact on the mode sharing rate. of both car-free users and car-owning users. A next result is the average utility of two types of users changes with the number of users. From the picture, we can see when the number of users is small and is less than 8, the average utility of users without cars is higher than that of users with cars. Another is when n is more than 2,000. The average utility of users with cars exceeds that of users without cars. We also obtained the average carbon emission of users in the system. From the picture, we can see the average carbon emissions of users in the system have no obvious increasing or decreasing trend with the number of users. In the end, we obtained some conclusions. Simulation results indicate that first, when the number of users changes, the distribution ratio of the two types of users partners is different from the overall distribution ratio of users partners. Therefore, it is necessary to classify and study users. Second, changes in the number of users have a significant impact on the mode share of both carless and car-owning users. In the end, the average carbon emissions of each user in the mass framework does not show a uniform downward or upward trend as the number of users increase. In the future, we may extend the single origin and destination pair to more practical transport network or more complex transport network. Moreover, we may study how to improve the service level and resilience of mass. For example, by using traffic demand management policy, for instance, tradable credit credits or congestion charging and so on. That's my presentation. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you, dear. Thank you for sharing your research findings. Any question or comments? Thank you, dear. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let me introduce you to our next speaker, dear Dr. Dina from Egypt.
Hi.
Hello, dear. Welcome.
Thank you. We're trying to share the screen. Please let me know if you can see it.
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Good evening, esteemed attendees. I'm honored to have this opportunity to present our research paper titled The Influence of AI Chatbots in FinTech Services on Customer Loyalty Within the Banking Industry. This research project was a collaborative effort between myself, Zina Al-Shihi, and my esteemed research team members, Mohamed Abdel Raouf, Mariam Higazi, and Nuha Hassan. This is our presentation's agenda. Now let's move on to the introduction section and start by exploring the background and context of our study. AI chatbots are virtual assistants powered by artificial intelligence. They have become an essential component of the fintech and banking sectors. Fintech is short for financial technology, and it encompasses the use of technology to deliver financial services. By combining AI chatbots with fintech solutions, banks can enhance customer engagement, streamline operations, and deliver efficient and customer-centric financial services. The key question here is whether customer satisfaction with AI chatbot interactions leads to increased customer loyalty. Moving to the research gap, and based on literature, the relationship between AI chatbot service quality, customer satisfaction, and customer loyalty requires further understanding. This implies that there's a need for more research to gain a deeper understanding of how these factors influence each other. Moreover, it is necessary to investigate the specific attributes of chatbot service quality that contribute to customer satisfaction. This suggests that researchers should focus on identifying the particular aspects of chatbot performance that have a significant impact on customer satisfaction. In addition to that, an in-depth exploration is needed regarding customer satisfaction within the context of chatbots in banks. This indicates that there's a lack of comprehensive studies that specifically examine customer satisfaction with chatbot services in the banking industry. Finally, research on the specific attributes of AI chatbot service quality in the context of fintech services is lacking. This highlights the need for more research that focuses on understanding the unique characteristics and factors that contribute to the quality of AI chatbot service quality, AI chatbot services within the fintech domain. Given that existing gap in research, the current study seeks to investigate the impact of AI chatbots as a fintech application on customer loyalty within the Egyptian banks sector industry. In the light of this objective, the following hypotheses are proposed. Moving to the methodology, the sample for the study consisted of employed individuals with prior experience with AI chatbots and was selected using a judgmental non-probability sampling technique. A total of 729 respondents completed the online questionnaire that was distributed through Google Forms. Prior to distributing the questionnaires, a panel study with experts and a pilot study with 30 respondents were conducted in order to modify the questionnaire based on feedback. The questionnaire comprised 4 main sections: demographic information, customer satisfaction and customer experience with AI chatbot service quality, customer satisfaction, and customer loyalty. The measurement items were rated on a 5-point Likert scale and were all derived from previous studies in order to ensure the reliability and validity of our data collection process. After that, descriptive statistics were computed using SPSS in order to examine the sample characteristics, and the structural equation modeling was after that used in order to analyze the data and to test the hypotheses. Now, I will hand over the floor to Mohammed, who will delve into the findings of our study and provide a detailed analysis of the results.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dina. Moving to the sample characteristics, and as shown in the figures, it was found that 57% of the sample consisted of males. The highest age group was individuals under 30 years, accounting for 45% of the sample. Additionally, 92% of the respondents held a bachelor's degree. Moving to the confirmatory factor analysis, revealed that all the variables demonstrated reliability as indicated by convex alpha exceeding 0.7. The variables also accepted the validity with a composite reliability greater than 0.7 and average variance extracted surpassing 0.5. Additionally, the loading values exceeded 0.6, signifying the significance of the statements. The findings of the study indicate the following. The service quality of AI chatbots has a positive impact on the customer loyalty, which is consistent with the findings of Wang et al. The service quality of AI chatbots has a positive influence on the customer satisfaction, aligned with the research conducted by Ding et al. Customer satisfaction positively contributes to customer loyalty, building upon the previous work of Steitmal et al. Customer satisfaction was found to partially mediate the relationship between AI chatbot and service quality and customer loyalty. This suggests while customer satisfaction plays a role in the link between AI chatbots and loyalty, it does not entirely eliminate the direct impact of AI on satisfaction. This finding is also supported by Chen et al. According, all the hypotheses of the study are accepted. Now I will hand over the floor to Dr. Noha, who will delve into the applications and conclusion sections of our study. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mohammed. Moving to the theoretical implications, the study proved that the traditional service quality dimensions are not applicable for evaluating AI chatbots. And accordingly, the study proposed 9 dimensions of AI chatbot service quality that are relevant for the banking sector. Moreover, it was relevant that high-quality service provided by AI chatbots can enhance customer loyalty. Customer satisfaction was proven to be a mediator between AI chatbot service quality and customer loyalty. The study confirms the positive link between customer satisfaction and customer loyalty. With regards to the practical implications, the study suggests that improving AI chatbot service quality can increase customer engagement, value, and profitability. Moreover, banks should improve both service quality and system quality of AI chatbots to retain and satisfy customers. The 9 factors identified for AI chatbot service quality can be showcased on the chat interface. The study provides guidance for the development, adoption, and post-adoption stages of AI chatbots based on these factors. And finally, these 9 factors can be used as criteria for evaluating and selecting AI chatbot services. To conclude, the main objective of this study was to examine the impact of service quality chatbots on customer loyalty within the banking sector. With regards to the methods, the study utilized a quantitative research approach in the form of an online survey targeting 729 employed participants, and the analysis were done through Smart PLS. Moving to the findings, the study identified various service quality attributes associated with AI chatbots. It was also found that the service quality of AI chatbots positively affected customer satisfaction, which in turn influenced customer loyalty. Finally, the study contributes to the existing body of knowledge and provide valuable insights for practitioners in understanding the key factors that impact customer experiences. These are the main references that we have used in our presentation. This is our team. And thank you all for attention. And I would now like to open the floor for questions. Please feel free, and thank you.
Thank you so much. That was really interesting and informative. Any question or comments, please feel free. Okay, it seems that everything is crystal clear. Thank you once again for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, now you are about to hear from our next presenter, dear Jin Wang from China. Hello.
Hi. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me now?